The best thing about getting to play Giriko is that Stephanie Young was my sister in that, and I love Stephanie Young. She should be my real life sister. We're the gender appropriate version of ourselves. Like, she is the female Tatum and I am the male Stephanie Young. That's what we say, because we have very similar voices or vocal styles. So people are always like, oh, well, we have brother and sister team. Let's get Young and Tatum. And so we're like, it's like a vaudeville act. It's really funny. You with the ears and the stuff. Are you? Wait a minute. Are you Holo? Oh God! Oh my God! Do you have the tail? Stand up. Let me see. Do you have the tail? Do you have the tail?
I will have a tail.
Oh, you will have a tail. Okay. That's awesome. You look great. You look great. Oh my God.
Alright, my question for you is, how do you feel about France?
I think France is incredibly hot. I'm not saying like, oh, I could listen to him all day. I mean, like, I could just look at him all day. I love France. I think France is a great character. I think he's hysterically funny. He's one of those characters whose job it is to just kind of show up, devastate, and leave. Which are the really fun characters to play. Like, everything out of his mouth makes all the other characters go, okay. So it's just fun. It's fun. And it's a little distressing, however, to know that of all the things I've done, and if I ever got out of voice acting and, let's say, became like a major, like, Samaritan or something and, like, saved the world or, like, ridded the world of nuclear weapons or something, the one thing I will be remembered for, I know, is what has been affectionately called the rape laugh. Which is a little weird to me. That laugh is fun to do, but it was like, really? That's gonna be, and this is the running joke for me, is that instead of like an eternal flame at my graveside, which incidentally would also be appropriate, I'm gonna have like shut up. I'm gonna have like the eternal voice box just with the rape laugh going over and over again at my graveside, so people can come pay their respects while listening to the idea. You just love that because you're British. He's like, but yeah, can you imagine being in like a cemetery and hearing that? Like, we're dearly departed, we're here. I just love the idea of that, just messing with people's grief. Let's see, this side of the room, you in the hat, like the tough hat on.
Like the order that they would be eliminated.
Okay, well, if in the order they would be eliminated, Dororo would go first. Because he's Dororo. And while he is a ninja, he's a frog. He's this big. Kyoya and Sebastian are a lot bigger. So Dororo would be like, I'm totally gonna win this fight. And they would be like, boop. Off he would go. What? Oh, that scared the hell out of me. That is, hi. I'm like going, oh God. This is freaky. I thought it was Spider-Man for a second too. It was really, but I could only see the mask. And now they're gone. I don't know, you know, I have to say, as this will probably piss all of you off, but between Sebastian and Kyoya, I think it would be a draw, because, I mean, come on, it's the two of them. I think they would be in the middle of the fight, and they'd probably just go, why are we fighting? We should join forces. You should be a demon. And Kyoya would be like, all right. And then his little black book would be filled with contracts. And together they would rule the world. Hi. Am I voguing? What is going on? What is happening? What are you doing? Oh, you're filming for them? I'm putting you to work. Okay, that was, okay, wait, middle of the room. Let's see. Yes, you, madam, in the front row. Yeah.
I was wondering, you say you connect with all your characters, but what about other actors? Like, while you're directing, are you able to make a connection with them easily? I know you have to because it's your job. And when you're an actor, do you have trouble connecting with certain directors? You just can't click the way you should?
Well, that's a really good question that I have to think about now. So the question, for those of you that may not have heard, is do I connect with other actors and other directors when I'm in the booth, either directing or voice acting? And the answer is yes, invariably. I mean, you always connect in some way. Sometimes it may be a difficult connection that takes some time, or sometimes it may be. It depends on the material, it depends on the director, it depends on their approach to the role, and it depends on the mood you're in that day. I mean, it's like any human relationship. You may love someone to pieces and find that you don't work with them very well. I tend to work very well with everybody because I'm a people person and I'm fascinated by people, and so if someone is very different than what I would consider to be my comfort zone, it's still pretty easy for me to get my, I shouldn't say easy to get my head around them, but I don't scoff at the idea of having to. I'm like, I love this. So I love having a director that's hard on me. Not if they're a total jerk, but then directors that are total jerks don't exist because they don't work for very long. They get booted out because no one likes them. And to be honest, of all the people I've worked with, everyone is really, really nice and very, very into what they're doing and very, very professional. So it's difficult not to connect with them. I think you'd have to be, you'd have to be made of ice not to, for example, be completely charmed by anything Lucy Christian does. Lucy Christian is one of the nicest, sweetest, genuine human beings I've ever met, and the most talented, probably.
Don't let Brina hear you say that.
And oh no, Brina would agree with me. But everyone up there is like that, and I never forget that I'm kind of in this business by sheer luck. I never set out to be a voice actor, really. I sort of got tricked into it, so to speak, and I love it. I love every minute of it, but it's nothing I ever imagined for myself. And so I owe where I am and the degree of my success, which I'm very happy with, to the generosity of other actors and directors and writers who have been so willing to share themselves with, and their views on the craft and their approach. And if I have a problem, I can go to one of them and, oh, try this. I mean, I owe so much to all the people I work with that I connect with all of them, and I consider them an extended family. And we're all very different people, and I think that's great. And we get together and we're actors, and so we're always kind of, checking each other out for material. Like, what can I use? I mean, all of us at some point have based a role we're playing on someone we know, and oftentimes, a performance will be a kind of a love letter, if you like, to the influence someone else has had on you. And so it's really, yeah, I personally find it easy to connect with people, even when it's hard, if that makes sense. I mean, like, I like the idea, the whole process really just fascinates me. So I love it. I love it. I think the people aspect of the business is probably my favorite thing about it. And beyond just the acting and directing and connecting with other professionals within the industry, really my favorite part about getting getting to do what I do for a living is really coming to conventions and getting to meet you awesome people. And I know that totally sounds like I'm like, look, aren't we awesome? Blah, 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 blah. No, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I was kind of an isolated child growing up, and there weren't conventions like this. And so the things I was into, like anime, oh yes, very much so, when I was a child, I didn't really have anywhere or anybody that my tastes resonated with. So I was very much alone in them. And now that I'm an adult, I'm like, oh my God, you people are awesome, and I love you all. So it's like we're a big family. I feel weird being up here, is the thing. I feel like we should be out there going, who are we watching? So I love it. I know, right?
I like how you're standing in your own line.
I was like, is this my line? Is this the line? Okay, can I cut? But yeah, I love people, and I'm fascinated by human beings, and so connecting with them is really the best part of my job.
Love you too, Tatum.
Aww, stop it.